Hi guys, and welcome back to the second half of this picture. I'll have the first video for the first half. I'll have a link for that in the description as well as the cards for this video. But yeah, so when I started coloring this one, I knew that I wanted it to be more of an atmospheric mood type piece, so I wasn't worried about getting in there and worrying about the local color of each individual piece. I wanted to be able to really look at it holistically and create more of a color palette throughout it, if that makes sense. So like a lot of times I'll get really like focused in my work when I get in and I zoom in and I figure, oh no, what is the color of this specific necklace going to be, or the cuff of their clothing? And sometimes I let that really hold me back because it takes me a long time to decide on the specific color of the local color of that object. And that's something that I'm trying to work past, being able to just kind of instinctively get a good color right. But I think that this one really helped me because I did take a step back so that I wanted it to be more looking at the colors overall and not really worrying about individual colors, but more of the impact that all of it came together and had. So when I originally started this picture, I did have an idea on how I wanted to complete the bottom and how I wanted to have her connect to the environment. But as I was working on it, I think I kind of, not that I forgot that I wanted to do it, but I lost track of that end goal. So when I was looking at this piece and I was ready to start coloring it, I felt really unhappy with it. The composition just felt really boring, and also where she connected with the environment, it felt very weak since there was only this very faint hint at an environment that she was sitting in. So when I actually started working on this and coloring it, I felt kind of like it was a dead end, like it wasn't going to end up being a piece that I even cared about, and that was a little bit frustrating because I don't want to waste my time on a piece that wasn't working, but at the same time I was originally very excited in this one, so I wanted it to be able to work. But that's kind of the point where once I added in that element that I was talking about, it really kind of came together, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is originally what I wanted to do with it. And so the sketch at the very beginning of the first piece, or the first video that I based this on, it did have a very different look, but she did fade into the background, and I'd kind of forgotten that that's what I wanted to do similarly with this one, except for I wanted her to fade into more of a black, so it would be a lot darker at the bottom, and then as it came up it would have more details and more colors. And once I added a layer of that over top of it, and it helped obscure where she came down into the environment, it really started connecting, and it got me excited back into this piece, and it helped me see what my original goal was, which I kind of got lost in when I was just looking at where it was at that exact point. So that was really helpful for me. So something that I actually really loved about this piece that I was experimenting with, and what I've been trying to very slowly to incorporate into my piece, and I should be doing it a lot more because I really enjoy it, but I'm trying to play a lot more with coloring the line work, but not just like going in and coloring it for the local color or just doing it all one color. I want to be able to give a mood and an effect with that, and I think that I can add a lot more of a storytelling element with the line work, with the coloring of the line work. So when I went in with this one, I knew that I wanted the bottom of the piece to be very dark and mysterious, and I wanted her to kind of get lost in that, so that it was you didn't really know exactly what was going on down there. But I went back in and I lightened the line work, so I made it this really bright blue against the black for the bottom half of her, and it just really made it pop. But it also had this really surreal and eerie look to it, which I really, really wanted. So she still kind of blended in, and it wasn't really you're not really sure what's going on, and it's definitely obscured still, but those details that I wanted to come forward did, and it had that mood that I wanted, and it was just really, it was really exciting when I put that down. And that was another point where I was like, yes, this piece is finally working. It's something that I'm excited about. So yeah, that really helped. And I also, what I did with the line work was, at first I tried doing a lighter line work at the top, and then got even lighter as it got closer to the bottom. But I actually went back in and I made it like almost black for the very top, because I wanted her features of her face and her hands to be able to really be very clear and visible. And I liked that I was able to try out these two different techniques in the same piece, and to see how I can really use the color of the line work to tell a very specific story and to give a very specific mood and get that effect that I want, rather than being stuck in in a one specific way, and then I just can't really do anything else with it. So yeah, it was really cool. I think that's probably my favorite part of this piece, is just the way that I colored the line work and how it interacted with the rest of the piece. And then when I finally added in the glowing effects that I did have planned from the very beginning, that was when it was done, and I was really happy with it, and it worked out really well. The layer mode that I used for the glowing effects were overlay, actually. So I had two different ones. I had one that had the main color, and then I had a second one that had kind of like the core glow within it. So like if you look at a match, you'll see that there's the center area that's extra bright, and then the area that is surrounding it. So that's kind of the effect that I wanted to get with that. And that is pretty much it for this piece. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you can catch all my future art videos. And until then, I'll see you at my next one. Bye!